Okay, Sistas fans, so this is the review from last night's episode, Season 5, Episode 20, What Goes Around. Okay, few things to start things off. First, number one. This was not an awful episode. It wasn't awful. But it was boring. Really stale, and for the most part, completely skippable. Believe it or not, I am going to give it a score though. That brings me to point number 2. I'll give it a 3 out of 10, and I'll tell you why. First off, I can't believe I'm saying this. Seriously, I really can't. But the Karen scene was my favorite part of the episode. It was short. It did what it was supposed to do. And yeah, I actually like seeing how Aaron is quite adamant and stern about, Karen taking her breaks, making sure she's eating. And, I really did like that. It was a good scene. And set up for the drama happening next week in the parking lot. But yeah, I did enjoy it. Second reason, still don't really care for how Maurice talks to his friends, but that little bit with the other prisoner next to him giving him the eye and whatnot, when this fool asked to get choked after he hung up the phone, which was stupid, but it got a genuine laugh out of me. And then the next reason, the last reason, number 3, Andy looked good as hell in that yellow dress. Yeah. I mean, hell, even the secretary at the front in her purple dress, she looked good. And of course, Fatima looked good as well. So, yeah. A 3 out of 10. Can't believe I'm doing this. I mean, I just did a video. What was it, yesterday? Okay, to be honest, I recorded that video about 2 weeks ago, but I just posted it yesterday. The short about how I'm not scoring episodes again until there's an episode I feel is better than a negative number. But I feel like the first sign of this episode being pretty damn bad was that we spent 10 minutes, a quarter of the episode. Folks, these episodes are what, 40, 42 minutes? If you take out the recap, the theme song, and the credits for the following episode, these episodes are about 39, 40 minutes, give or take. Why was 25% of the episode wasted at Danny's apartment? This felt like an episode of Bruh or House of Pain, or I think the Pains did it worse, but where we would spend half of the episode in one place. It isn't even the fact that we stayed in one place. That's not the problem. The problem is when the dialogue and the subject is just repetitive as I don't know what. 10 minutes. Did you sleep together? Oh, wait a minute. I slept with somebody who slept with Maurice, and they're yelling about, yeah, this is Q and this, that. And Sabrina brought up, Danny's like, well, why didn't anybody tell me his name? And like, that would have helped me out. Quincy, Q, his name starts with Q. I get the rationale there, and I know Atlanta is a small place, but to be fair, I'm pretty sure that Quincy isn't the only Quincy in Atlanta, nor would he be the only one to go by the name Q. Now, you could argue Danny could put 2 and 2 together, or at least try to, in regards to your name is Quincy or Q. The guy that screwed over Sabrina and Maurice, Quincy Q. You're wearing an ankle monitor. You have no social media. Your backstory is sketchy at best. I don't know if I should get involved with you. So I'm not going to put it all on Danny if Sabrina said his name, because, it really wouldn't add up 100%. And the only real thing we learn about this is Sabrina wants to have an intervention, and apparently Danny was doing this sleeping around crap in college. Okay. I mean, she talks about hot girl summer, and then Sabrina did say a funny line, summer has been over for a while. Okay, that was pretty funny. But yeah, we just wasted 10 minutes, and then they kick you out, and that was pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so Sabrina goes back home, and she talks with Calvin about the money because she's happy. Oh yeah, she invited Calvin over to let him know that Bio is giving the money over. Calvin's still pouty. Y'all aren't together. Why are we dragging this out? And she keeps saying we gotta do something about Q. And look, like I said a couple weeks ago, the way that Sabrina says that line, this isn't the first time she said this. The way she says that line, it just makes it seem like, yet again, I'm thinking the girls killed Andy's abusive boyfriend in college, because Sabrina just, I'll be giving her the side eye when she says that. I'm like, okay, Sabrina. All right. But, you know, she brings up the fact that she saw him over at Danny's place, and she's working at the airport with him. Oh yeah, Danny does put it together that Logan probably got him the job, but it doesn't really amount to anything. But they get on the phone with Maurice, and I already talked about how I did actually laugh at this comedy bit, but he's excited, you know, he's getting out. Then Calvin leaves, he has to go back to work, so, you know, Sabrina will call him when she's on her way to the jail to pick up Maurice. He should be out soon, and he'll go over there to meet with them, you know, after he gets off of work. Over at the, let's see. Oh, I could talk about the salon because I talked about most of it already. But Aaron comes by the salon while Karen's working to, you know, deliver her lunch. Because remember, she didn't eat anything that morning because she was nauseous. She did say she would get a shake or something on her way to work. And, you know, he's there to make sure she eats lunch. And it's kind of cute because, you know, she's in the middle of a perm or something. And, oh, yeah, well, you need to eat your lunch. You know, it's busy in here today, and I got another customer waiting. Well, your customer is going to have to wait because you are going to eat. And then Pam was like, oh, I need a man like that to take care of me. It's like, come on now. Well, yeah, you need to put it out and you'll get it back or something like that. And I'm like, Karen, what have you really, quote unquote, put out for Aaron in regards to the kindness and, you know, TLC that he offers you? So don't act all high and mighty, because you spend most of the series chasing a man who's already gone. But yeah, I did like the scene. I really did. At the law firm, which I believe most of the other dialogue and scenes take place at, Andy arrives looking good in that dress, and the secretary gives her mail and flowers that the janitor gave her. I'm sorry. You know, she was so chipper about it. Oh, here are some flowers. They're from the janitor. The janitor? Oh, yeah, Paris. Oh, wow. Yeah, and he got them from, you know, the flower lady down the street. And I know her. Oh, he got these at, the flower lady down the street. Yeah, you could tell she doesn't care for these flowers because they're cheap, you know. Basically, they're not what she's accustomed to. I mean, what was it? I think, who was it? Gary that sent her like a dozen bouquets of flowers or something like that before, right? And she put them in her office or something. And now you have the janitor sending her a quote unquote cheap bouquet. Honestly, I thought they looked nice. But she ended up giving them to, you know, the secretary because they looked good with her dress. But truth be told, they were like, what, 3 colors, right? Yellow, purple, and I forgot the third color. So it would have been kind of cool if, you know, she at least gave the secretary the purple ones to match her dress. And, you know, she took a yellow one, but she ain't feeling Paris like that. It was good to hear him mention again, but at the same time, I have no idea why he's even sending her flowers, because the one time he did call her earlier in the season when Robin was kind of lightly interrogating him, she kind of rushed you off the phone, so I don't really know why you even sent her flowers, but whatever. So she goes in there to talk to Robin, and it turns out Gary called the loan shark to offer him a better deal to screw Robin over. Basically, he wants more interest, which, if I remember correctly, it was 30% interest on the $14 million. But he could give the money back today and only have to pay 10% interest on it. And he's screwed. He really is. And he asks Andy, so Andy, look, I have to ask you, are you in this with Gary? What? I mean, the fact that you're the one that told me about this loan shark, and, Gary called him, and then, they screwed me over. And I was just wondering, are you two involved in this together? And Andy, always in her clutching of pearls moment, the audacity, Robin! He asked a simple question, and I did love the fact that as she was leaving, Andy, you're an attorney. Whenever you're being, questioned like this, you need to not be so sensitive about it. And he's absolutely right. And no, it's like, well, look, Robin, you're my boss, and it's complicated, and we slept together. First of all, you slept together like 3 times, and one of which was a threesome. Next up, Andy always does this. She acts like she's innocent. Well, even after she's been clearly involved in something, she'll be like, I don't want to be any part of this. It's too late. Now, granted, Robin should have kept his damn mouth shut. He shouldn't have told Gary last night at the bar of the steam plant, oh yeah, I got the money. No, you should have waited. You should have waited. But I think I was more disappointed in Andy because of the fact that she's like, you know what, Robin, look, I was doing you a favor because you helped me. But anything you do from this point forward, you have to do it on your own. And then she leaves. And I'm thinking, okay, how many favors has Robin done for Andy at this point? He has helped to get 4 people out of jail for her. 2, what was it? Zach, Fatima. And even though he wasn't able to get them out directly, he was at least able to grant bail for them, or get bail granted for them. Mind you, millions of dollars, but he was able to pull some strings to get some bail, just place for Sabrina Maurice. He has contacted legit favors. And when I say legit, I mean politicians, other, people in the legal field, people that wouldn't break legs. He does all of this. He calls in favors. He, does this, that, and the third to help out Andy's friends or friends of friends based on nothing more than the word that, oh, they're good people. Andy helps out Robin one time and finds the scummiest, most dangerous loan shark to loan him money. And then because Robin asked one question, are you in this with Gary? I don't want to, no, I'm done. I'm not doing it. He's disposable. He is completely disposable to her because Andy's gotten everything that she wanted out of Robin. The only thing at this point is the fact that she's up for partner. So Gary's antics would, rock the boat a bit too much. That's why she offered to help out Robin because, him sticking around would work out for her. Andy is a straight up user. That is all she is. It's awful. Okay, so we actually have Fatima come in real quick to talk with Andy. And, they do the basic, how was your night? How was your night? Fatima says, oh, everything's going to be cool. And Karen, she apologized to me, Andy said. And, Fatima was shocked. So it's like, oh, so we can all move forward. And she asked Fatima to call the number to arrange for Maurice's bail. They see Hayden and Tamara in the hallway. And it's funny. We'll get to that scene in a moment. But Andy actually looked over the paperwork. Zach is being generous about the child support. And it's all ready. Karen, can sign it and they're good to go. Which begs the question of what exactly did Zach put in the paperwork? Because remember, Karen said she didn't want anything. So I'm curious to see what was in the paperwork. Okay, so briefly, we have Fatima going to talk with Tamara in one of the break rooms, and she's filling out an application. She's like, "You can't work here." No, it's like, look, he's trying to hook me over for a secretary job here. I told him, I didn't want to be taken care of, and, he's doing all this. But look, it's 1 hour until Heather shows up. I saw his schedule, and I want to throw a fit. That way, he'll drop her as a client. And girl, I got him wrapped around my finger. He spent $200 on breakfast for me this morning. And I'm thinking, damn, $200. That was like, what, 3 or 4 scrambled eggs? Because you know how high eggs are right now. But as soon as Fatima leaves, she's like, shit, I'm about to get this job, and I want to take this fool for everything he got. So I thought that was pretty funny. All right, Robin meets up with Gary and Hayden. Well, actually, Gary and Hayden, have a brief chat about how they're ready, to shut this thing down. They go up into Robin's office all big and bad, and they pretty much tell him, "Oh, so you got the money?" Yeah, I told you I got the money. Oh, yeah, he was able to get that money, huh? Oh, yeah, but there's $3 million more, huh? The partners decided to raise it all by 20%, so that's $10 million. You need to come up with $3 million. Yeah, well, if you read paragraph 3, I don't have to come up with it right away, within a reasonable amount of time, 30 days. And then, they kept going back and forth, clashing swords, but it got to the point where it's like, look, I had $3 million by 5 p.m. and we have nothing to talk about before then. So it just makes you wonder, where the hell is he getting $3 million from in a few hours? Is he going to call this loan shark guy again? I guess technically that could work, because put it this way, Gary offered a better deal to screw Robin over. If Robin borrowed an additional $3 million, that could boost the owed interest to a number that would actually be good enough for that loan shark to be like, damn, you're going to owe me more than what that guy Gary offered me to screw you over. So yeah, I'll send you that $3 million and we'll be cool. I guess that's I don't know how else he can do it, unless he has just another backup plan or something we don't know about. All right. Sabrina comes by the law firm to tell Andy about the bail situation. Or actually, yeah, she wanted to follow up on the bail situation with Maurice and let her know about the Danny and Q situation that she saw over at the apartment. Oh yeah, earlier in the episode, Danny asked Sabrina not to tell the girls, but then Sabrina said, I'm going to tell them anyway because you need to stop. And then they agree to go over to Danny's place later that night to talk to her about the way she's been acting, because this is just like how she was in college. I think the best part of this scene was when Andy was like, Sabrina, where did you get this money from? And he just gave it to you. And it's like, Andy, look, Gary buys you penthouses and Rolls Royces and whatnot. You don't think a man could do the same for me? And Andy's like, no, that's not what I meant. When I first heard the scene, I'm like, you said, you tell her, Sabrina. But then I really thought about it and I'm like, well, Andy does have a point, because you barely know this guy and he just loaned you that money. There must be some kind of ulterior motive behind it, which again is always funny how Andy is able to see this in other people's situations but never her own. Now the difference being that, I was talking with somebody on Twitter about this. When it comes to Gary and Andy, they kind of know each other. Yeah, believe it or not, look, this was a 6-month affair prior to episode 1 of the series. Then he got a divorce. Then they got engaged. Then that got broken off. And I don't know what the hell they're doing now. But even so, there are a lot of things about Gary that Andy still doesn't know. But you could argue that there is more that Andy is aware of from Gary than Sabrina is from Bio. And I do think that is a valid point of being worried. Like, he just put up the money for someone he doesn't even know. I don't know. So from there, we go over to the end of the episode, which is just exactly like the preview. Joey knocks on the door, asks for Fatima, asks who Zach is, and says that he's her baby's father. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, this episode wasn't awful. Complete. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. I forgot. I completely glossed over this in the notes. I'm sorry. So we get Fatima and Zach on the phone. And I don't know how I forgot this. Fatima wants Zach to go over to the salon to apologize to Karen. I'm not going to go off, but I'm just saying that, okay. So, Zach is saying that, hey, I'm coming over for lunch. I want to make sure we're still good on that. But, yeah, I think Fatima was the one that called Zach to let Zach know that Andy looked over the paperwork. As soon as Karen signs, they'll be good to go because the paperwork checks out. But, Andy did tell me that in the paperwork, it's, was showing that you were being generous to Karen. But, based on the events of last night, if Karen is still pissed off, that, she might wind up not signing the paperwork at all. And as a result, Fatima's like, I think you need to go over there and apologize because you were wrong. But Fatima, you were dead wrong as well regarding the photo. Karen told you the situation, yet you never apologized to Zach. Now, and thankfully Zach did call her out on this. Now, not only does Fatima say go apologize, well, she's not going to answer my calls after what happened last night. Well, go over there. Oh, wow. Okay, so you want me to go over there so another photo will get taken and this whole mess will get started all over again. Zach, I trust you. It's funny because yesterday, that morning, I'm wearing my engagement ring. By that night, Andy's like, wait, where's your ring? I really hope he doesn't go to that salon. And I don't think he will based on the whole situation regarding Joey. So this was no. Now, part of me, if this was like season 3 or 4, I thought it would have been really cute when Fatima was like, well, if you want to talk about our future together, then you go over there and you know what's going to happen if you don't go over there, right? And this, that, and the third. Those little playful threats were cute. But based on the Fatima we've seen over the past few episodes, it's not cute. It's just the resorting back to, Zach, you better act right. You better do what I say or there's going to be some trouble. And it's like, you think Karen was a mess, then I'm going to make it worse. I was just sitting there like, oh gosh. So now Zach is going to be right back where he started from. And that's it. That's the episode. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.